Hey, this is AJ. Welcome back to the Handyman process. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to lose money, or better yet, I'm going to give you a lesson learned so hopefully you don't lose money. Stay tuned. All right, so in this business, most of the money you make, it's kind of like buying and selling cars. You make the money when you buy the car, not necessarily when you sell it. And the same thing comes with handyman work. You make the money when you create the estimate and then eventually get paid for it. So you got to make sure your estimates are good, or at least in my case, because I have one of my golden rules, and this goes against most contracting stuff, is I never increase the prices. Whatever my estimate is, it is. And if I have to eat it for some reason, I eat it for some reason, unless there's a drastic change in scope of work, and then I work with the client. But if it's something that I should have known about and I should have been prepared about and I didn't include in my estimate, I consider that to be my fault, and I eat it on those types of things. So as you go through this process, you're going to learn, oh, I should have thought about this, or I should have thought about that. There's different ways. I mean, you can look at what other people are doing. You can go to HomeWise, and you can kind of see all the different peculiarities associated with some jobs. Some of them you might be like, it costs too much money, I can't get that estimate. But then you start to think, why is it that price? And it could be a lot of factors. In today's example, I'm going to talk about the factor of access. Whatever you need to work on, how do you get to it? So in the background up here, I'm going to be playing some video footage, some time lapse of a job I did recently. So this original job was pretty straightforward. Cut out some rotted exterior trim, replace it, and then paint the whole thing. Homeowner's providing the paint, I'm just providing the labor. I think it was about 60 linear feet of trim work to be done. And there was 3 small places where I had to cut out and rebuild the exterior trim pieces. So let's go to the first issue, right? So I scheduled the job 9 o'clock on I think it was like a Friday morning, maybe about a month or so ago. And I scheduled, I think like 5 hours for this job. So basically my whole day to go work this one particular job. So as soon as I get over there, I chit chat with the homeowner a little bit, and he tells me, oh, hey, by the way, there's a lot of bees here. I'm like, okay, are they like anywhere while I'm working? Well, yeah, maybe in these particular areas, that's where the bees are. I'm like, all right, he's like, I just sprayed. He's like, hopefully they're done. You don't have to worry about them. I'm like, all right, well, I'll start on the other side over here. And as I start to get to the other side, I realize mistake number 1 is I can't get to any of this stuff because it's all behind these thick bushes. So that's issue number 1. I didn't go on site for this estimate. I got pictures, but as soon as I saw the bushes, I should have said, man, can I get back there? And he was like, oh yeah, you just don't worry about breaking branches. Just do what you got to do. I had like this much room to try to set up a ladder. And you know how ladders are, right? I can't just put a ladder straight up like this. I got to tilt it out. I got to get that 45-degree angle with my arms. So that's issue number 1, is I spent more time trying to get this ladder into position than I did on the ladder. Issue number 1. Issue number 2 in this case were the bees. So as soon as I got up one area, I'm covered in bees. I'm going up and down this ladder to try to do the work, and every time I get to the top of the ladder, I'm swarmed by bees. I'm getting stung by bees. I'm spraying. I'm waiting, and I can't work in that area. I just sprayed because I got to do some touch-up stuff. So I'm moving to another area, and I'm going the same thing. I'm going up and down this ladder trying to set stuff up. I get to another area where there's no way I could escape these bees. So if I'm on the ladder and I start getting stung, it's not like I can go right down the ladder and get out. I had to go down one ladder, climb over to another ladder, like work my way outside of these bushes. A complete pain in the butt. So about 4.5 hours into this thing, I'm like, I'm done. I got stung enough. The spray's not working. I tell the homeowner, hey, listen, I got to come back another day. All right. Again, I'm not going to charge him for that because I had created this estimate. I think I was like $6.95 or something for this estimate. So I eat it. I say, hey, I'm coming back when the weather is cooler, and we'll go from there. And one thing is, I didn't even get to the most difficult place to access on that first day. So I go back again this previous Friday, and I continue my work, and I'm trying to get access to everything, and I just cannot. And I'm cursing up a storm because I can't even like get angles to cut things. So it's just when you're doing these jobs, you're thinking in your mind, I'm losing money. I'm 2 days on this job right now. I'm half my day rate. I just want to get this job over and done with. So I kind of go through all that, cut out all the stuff I had to replace, put that in there, and I started to do the painting. And I start putting this paint on. And so now, this isn't an access, it's just me just bitching maybe a little bit. But I'm putting this paint on, and it's not painting. It's weird. It's like, I'm applying it. I could see everything right through it. I knock on the door. I said, hey, is this paint good? He's like, I just got it. I was like, I don't know if you got the wrong paint, if it's bad paint, or if the wood's so bad, but it's not painting. He said, well, can you keep trying? Let's maybe, we'll take a look. If we have to do 2 coats, we have to do 2 coats. So I keep pressing, and I realize this isn't working, right? So I knock on the door again. I was like, hey, do you have any other paint? I said, because this just isn't working. So he goes and he finds other paint, and the other paint works like a charm, right? Like paint should work. So he's like, oh yeah, I guess I got bad paint. He's like, can you start over from the beginning? So what do you do in a situation like that, right? I could have been, I guess that's kind of a change of scope of work, but not really. Like I should have known right off the bat I had bad paint. But I haven't had bad paint in forever. And I stirred this stuff up and it looked fine. I was really thinking that this fascia board was so deteriorated that it was just sucking everything in. But anyway, I go back and I do all this stuff. The bees come back out, even though it's November, and I'm about to give up, and I come back on a 3rd day, and I'm like, man, there's no way. I don't care how many times I get stung. I'm just gonna finish up this job. Luckily, the bees kind of went on their own way. I was able to go in and finish things up. But the point of this video is, this was a huge loss for me. Even though at the end of the day, he's like, I'm gonna throw some extra money your way. He gave me a $55 tip, so I walked out with $750. But it was $750 for 2 days, getting stung a bunch of times. I got scratches all over my body, my feet hurt, all this stuff, all because of those bushes and those bees. So the whole point of this video is, especially if you're a new guy getting into this stuff, when you see those pictures, start to think the access, no matter what it is, whether you're doing what I was doing in this particular job or whether you're doing another job, you have to factor that access in. Looking back in time now, I probably would have been $1,200 on this job. The homeowner probably would have declined it, and we both would have won, right? Because I wouldn't have had to mess with it, and he could have found somebody a little bit cheaper to do the work. But don't forget to factor that in when you do your work. If not, you're going to be working for pennies on the dollar, which is what happened here. A lesson learned. Again, I didn't pass any of that on. I should have been more cognizant or aware of it. But I'm making this video so that hopefully you are more aware of it. So if you like this kind of content, if it resonates with you, if you want to see more, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, let me know, and stay tuned for the next one. Appreciate it.